So this is my Clover colored natural glycerin soap that I've made by drying and powdering the winter clover that grows here and grinding it into a powder. And I really like this color green, and luckily, because this is a glycerin soap, the color won't fade very much like it would in a cold process soap from the chemical reaction with the lye. This lye has already saponified in glycerin, so it's not as big a concern. Oh, need a little more there, don't we? Okay. And it makes these, oops, sorry, I got too close there, didn't I? Makes these lovely little clovers. And what I'll be doing with these is putting these on our Kerry Cattle Tallow soap that we're going to be making. So a true nod to Ireland and St. Patrick's Day. And my name is Patrick. I'm no saint. And I like snakes. All right, so let's get to putting this together. I discussed with each of you, or with all of you, I should say, in a previous video that due to the freakishly cold below zero weather we had here, that some cattle were lost in the freezes. Heartbreaking for some of the farmers and ranchers in the area. A sad sight driving around the county and seeing them laying in the pastures. One farmer here raises Irish Kerry cattle, a very rare breed that he has imported and was raising here. And unfortunately, they had grown quite accustomed over the last generation to Texas warm weather and warm winters, and simply did not tolerate our freeze that we had. And a lot of money was lost for a lot of folks. So I took it upon myself to reach out, and sure enough, a lot of the ranchers are processing those cows that died for dog food, things like that. Because they froze outdoors, they're not suitable for then thawing and butchering and all that for food, like normally processed animals would be. And this type of cow isn't generally for meat anyway. They are milk cows, which are most of the cows in this area actually. So I was very fortunate that they rendered down. They had over 100 pounds of this stuff, and I decided one of my most popular soaps are my bison tallow, but I'm hoping that this Kerry cattle, which is a very rare cow, will be as appealing, because I quite frankly can't tell the difference between, when I've used the soaps, between bison tallow and regular cow tallow. Goat, yes, I can tell a difference, but these are so closely related that I just don't see a big difference in the tallow and soap. So I thought, how perfect for an Irish themed soap, where I'm using my little clovers, which these ideas sort of came at different times, but it seems to be perfect timing. This is my birthday month. It's a very exciting time for me for different reasons, and we'll talk more about that as we move through the video. But I just wanted to explain why this is the primary ingredient. Now, I'm not making this with 100% tallow. I'm adding in 10% of coconut oil, because the only issue people ever have with tallow soap is that it's not as bubbly. And so by adding just a small percentage of coconut oil, you can add a bit of bubble to that, and yet it's small enough amount that it is suitable for the most sensitive of skin. Unless someone's allergic to one of the ingredients, of course. I'm going to scent this with rosemary and peppermint, just one of my favorite blends of essential oils, but it just seems ideally suited to this. So I'm going to get this heated and melted down, and then we're going to put this together. All right, so here I have my rosemary and peppermint essential oils, and I have some kale and clay here, about 2 tablespoons per pound I've measured out here. And I'm going to pour that right into my essential oil blend here and let the essential oils hydrate the clay. All right. So the clays will serve sort of a dual purpose. They will help to anchor the essential oils. In addition, adds a nice slip to soap. Now, what is slip? What does that mean? Well, slip simply means the way that it feels on the skin. You don't want your soap to, you know what, I'm going to run that through a quick sieve because there are a couple of impurities in there and that just bugs me. Let me go, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and add these into my oils while I'm doing this. Slip. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little distracted there by the, don't like impurities or nasty little things that sometimes are in clay, because clay comes from the earth. And sometimes you're going to have those sort of little nothingnesses, but better to filter them out. All right. Slip is how the soap feels. So for instance, if a soap is heavy with oils, it can sometimes stick to the skin, not move easily on the skin. Look at me dripping. You need to be careful here. So you just want to make sure that when you're making a soap, that you counteract things like that. If you're using a lot of heavy butters and things, sometimes they can be a little uncomfortable on the skin. They can leave behind maybe an oily residue, especially if you're super fatting. So by adding a bit of clay, it helps to alleviate any of that greasy feeling that you might get. And let me wipe up a couple of my little muck messies here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my aloe vera, lye solution, aloe gel, and sea salt mixture. I generally add sea salt for the hardening properties that it adds to soap, but because this is a tallow soap, that's really not necessary. There are a couple blobs in there of some oils that have started. The room is very cool, so when I hit it with the stick blender, it will kind of reincorporate those into the soap. Into the rest of the soap, I should say. One second. Aren't they great? They're simple. Oh, they're oh so simple, aren't they? But you know they are a tribute. Can we give a tribute to an animal that's... Yeah, we can. These, to me, are a tribute to those animals that made it through the freeze by dying. What do I mean by that? Well, their tallow has kind of been made infamous in the bar of a soap. And to me, that's so much better than heading off to a dog food company. Not that that isn't something that animals have to eat. We keep domesticated animals, so we do have to feed them, and I won't get into the politics of animal feed and that whole thing, but I feel really good that this has brought a use to those poor animals that I personally feel terrible about what happened to them. I really do. We should have been better prepared. The farmers should have been better prepared. I wasn't prepared enough. I told you I lost some baby goats, and what you don't know is that saddens me so very much. I love them so much, and I try to take such good care of them, and for something like that to happen was heartbreaking. But I've learned a valuable lesson that I will forever be grateful for. And you may wonder, what kind of lesson? Well, I learned that you have to prepare for the worst, and I haven't done that. While living here in Texas with such mild winters, I had taken it for granted that I didn't need to do a lot of the things that perhaps I should have done. And I will tell you that people that, at least one guy that I know locally is from up north, like Minnesota. So he was prepared. He knew what to do in the event this could happen, all right? He had some fires already burning outdoors near his large water tank to keep it from freezing. He had, several things. I won't go into all of it, but he knew what to do and took those precautions. I hope to be moved in a year or so, before a year or so. And if at all possible, I will be moved, and I'll be, wherever I live, I will be more prepared. That doesn't matter. Even if I'm still here, and that is a possibility, of course. I love Soapy Oaks Farm. Most of my adult life has been spent here. And a great deal of it. And there's so much I love about it. I really do. The things I've been able to grow here. Someone actually asked me in a video, if you move, will you take seeds from your farm? Oh, yes, and cuttings and all sorts of things. A few of these got a little messy on top, but I can fix those up with running them through a planer. But wherever I go, I will tell you that I will never let another animal of mine die because of the weather if it's at all in my control. It's a bad thing. All right, so we've talked about that icky stuff. Let's talk about something positive and happy. Like the winners. So I'm going to move these aside. They smell wonderful. That rosemary and mint is such a perfect, peppermint is a beautiful combination, I think, for these March. I'm not going to call them lucky soaps because I don't believe in luck all that much. But because of the thoughts I put into making these, I hope they will be lucky for you. I don't believe in perhaps what some would call magic, but I do believe that positivity is contagious. And I had a very positive state of mind when I was making these, and I'm still very positive about, a couple of them got a little mucked there, but I can fix that. But let's talk about something more positive, like the giveaway of the dishwashing kits that I promised you in a recent Suds video, and I'm just getting around. I've been working on the video separate, which you'll see it inset in the corner of the screen. I'll show you a little bit of that. It's where I drew the following names I'm about to show you here. So you can see that I did do the live drawing online, but this is going to be for the giveaway of 3 of these wonderful, and I think they're pretty wonderful, of the Eco Dishwashing Kits. And in case you don't remember what's in them, I just almost gave it away there. And here's what's included. You get the stoneware dish with one of the dishwashing soaps. You get a refill. You get the dishwashing scrub brush, a fine bamboo kind of toothbrush for getting into bottles and doing fine cleaning. Some of this lovely rosemary mint hand lotion, fantastic after dishwashing. And a flax, organically made flax washcloth. That it's like a microfiber made out of flax, and I've got it in one of the dissolvable PVA bags, so when you take it out of this bag, it'll dissolve in water. Isn't that great? And it adds some beneficial things back into the water for microorganisms. So what's better than that? Anyway, so 3 people have won this, and I'm really excited about those 3. Now I'm going to list them. So one of the winners, let me close the box here so that I've got a surface here. All right, so one of the winners is, the first winner is Chris Schuster. Congratulations, Chris. I'm really happy for you. Please send an email to me at soapyoaksfarm@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll get your dishwashing kit on the way to you. Congratulations, Chris. Next on the list, the next drawing name chosen was Norma A. Congratulations, Norma. I'm so happy for you. Fantastic. Norma A. Please email me at soapyoaksfarm@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll get your Eco Dishwashing Kit on the way to you. Congratulations, Norma. And finally, the third winner was Clivia Ibanez. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Is it Clivia? You'll have to let me know. But congratulations, you have won one of the Eco Dishwashing Kits as well. I'm very happy for you. I know you've been here on the channel for a while, and it's great to be able to send this to you. Please email me, soapyoaksfarm@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll get this shipped out to you ASAP. I hope you enjoyed this, folks. I will be getting these tallow bars into the shop in the next few weeks. I hope you've enjoyed this.